Today we're putting some fast seats in a slow car. All right, so I got lucky enough and found a matching Corbu seat for the one I've already installed. So we've got a red one and now a blue one, but pretty excited. At least they're the same model. Also, Corbu still sells the brackets and stuff for them, and they sell the sliding seat bracket from Super Beetle to the Corbu, part number C385. These are specific to 71 and 72 Super Beetle only. When they 73s and up went to a different seat style. So if you have those exact years, they have the brackets. They have a passenger and a driver's side. Make sure you get the right side. So we're going to get this mounted onto the seat. But first, I was able to pick up a universal harness bar. I found the shortest one I could get that would fit in there. We had to do some modifications, but I do have it in now. Give a quick breakdown on how I got it in, what it took to get it in. All right, so obviously we're ditching the 1971 seatbelts that really didn't do much and kind of made me nervous wearing, and went with this harness bar and these harnesses. This is a 4-point harness and semi-adjustable. They're the lash loop style. They don't really bolt in the back. Some do. These are different. But with this universal one, it was definitely too long. They don't make them for a Beetle, or at least what I couldn't find after a week of searching. So instead, I just ordered one that was the shortest and mocked it up here, cut it in half, measured out how much to cut off of each one. And then I have some DOM tubing that I cut and slid over and welded it up. So it's actually probably stronger than the original. This really cheap, who knows what kind of mild steel they had used. But for now, I think it's a lot better than the stock seatbelts that were fraying and were really gross. The way this mounts in is in the original seatbelt bolts on the tops, and then it triangulates down at the bottom where the seatbelts used to go down here. And currently I have it bolted in with the seatbelt bolted in. I don't suggest that. It would be nice to have a double shear point. The one issue with doing this is, since this bug was wrecked, this hole down here, the threads were messed up, so I ended up just cutting it out and running the bolt straight through with a nut on the other side to hold it. And it's actually pretty secure. Another thing I did do with this is I didn't trust any of the hardware. So I did go and pick up all grade 8 hardware for it. So everything that's bolted together is all grade 8. And at least I know that's going to be secured. So we'll move to getting those seats mounted up.
You forgot the best part.
The best part.
The neck thing.
Oh, I do have a neck brace.
And you can set it there. That's
so
real race car stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a neck brace for autocrossing and stuff. And so it was just before I lost it in my garage of stuff. I was like, I'll just throw it in here, and Daniel gets a kick because it looks like we do real race car stuff.
Real race car stuff.
And the slowest bug out there right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just going to hang out there for whenever we need it, I guess. Yeah. Basic math, grinder, and welder, and it'll be in. So pretty excited that we have this with the harnesses. You definitely stay strapped in better.
Plus it looks like way cooler. You can see here from the side of the window.
Yeah, it looks like it could do something cool.
Yeah.
When we know it's maxing out at 50 miles an hour.
That's right, 55 downhill.
Yeah. All right. I just realized one thing. This is also driver's seat. So the adjuster is going to be on the left side.
The inner side. Yeah.
So
at least it has an
we have
adjuster.
2 driver's seats. So bottom of the seat here, and we've got the sliding bracket down here because I ordered all this kind of stuff at the same time. Corbu sends you hardware, but not all of it works. That was kind of frustrating. They were great customer service, but they said that's what they send. Like, there wasn't anything else they could do about it. But they were kind enough. They did forget some other parts, and they sent them to me. So I went and got some more grade 8, some hardware for it. And it started with, actually, I think they do send you the Allen bolts here. These will go, and they're what thread into the bottom of the seat. But the one things that were wrong were the bolts that hold it to the bug. So I'll show you what I ended up using and what I don't think I have what they sent because it just didn't work at all. So what we're going to do is throw these Allen head bolts in here real quick. And these just thread into the bottom. I want to make sure it's the right way for,
Yeah.
the slider is in the back.
Yeah.
Whoops. But this seat was a good score. It actually came from back east. I had been looking. I didn't know what model these Corbu seats were. I think we said in the very beginning of our videos, I got the red one for free from a buddy. If you want to look them up, it's Southwest Explorers. They do some really cool off-road stuff. We're an off-road channel, definitely professionals, but they dabble in it. No, they're building a full-on rock crawler with an LS in it, which is pretty cool. So when this popped up actually on Facebook, this is the first time I bought something on Facebook and had it shipped. Was a little nervous, but the guy I talked to seemed promising, and it showed up at my doorstep a week later.
So it wasn't even from a company.
No, this seat was straight off of Facebook Marketplace. I had been looking locally, and nothing had turned up. I couldn't find anything on eBay, and I did one more search. I remember searching one night, and it popped up, and I was like, oh, no way. So I messaged the guy who worked the deal. He shipped it to me. So that was really cool of him. Not really. I sent him money to give me a product. So it got here.
That's how commerce works.
That's how, yeah. So there we go. We got the first one in. We're going to bring it up, put these next ones in. So there we go. So those are mounted. Like I said, Corbu just sends you the bracket ready to go. It's just these 4 Allen bolts underneath, bolts right in. And then, let's see, I think what I want to do is we're going to push this back. So when we go to install it, we can access this stuff a little bit easier. But I think that's it for at least the bracket install. It's pretty straightforward. They don't send you instructions too. So maybe this video will help somebody out.
Yeah.
Mounting your seat. These are the brackets, and what they're going to do is they're going to pinch the seat rail. They go in there like this, and they actually pinch it and hold the seat rail. And so then the bolt is going to come through and thread into this bracket, and then you just tighten it down, and it pinches it and holds it. All right, so we're inside the bug. Daniel setting up the other camera. And so this is the stock rail. The seat's pulled out. And like I said, that bracket's going to come and pinch around this piece of railing. And then it already has these holes, if you could see them. If not, they're there when you go to do it. They're right there. And that's where those bolts are going to go through. So the seat's going to sit here. Those bolts go in there and there. And then it pinches on this seat rail. So we'll get that going. That way you just kind of see it before it goes in. All right, so we're going to just throw this in there. What I found was, I believe, putting in the front first, getting that bolted down, and then moving to the back ones. They are a little more finicky because you're trying to put that clamp right in where the seat rail is. It's kind of a pain, but it's doable.
My hand.
Oh yeah, there you go. Hold it right there. And then you're just going to blindly be putting in the bolt and the nut in. All right, we got one started.
The front one?
Yeah, one front one, and then I'm going to get, there it is. The other one started. All of them, I definitely suggest leaving everything loose. Don't go and tighten one down, because that's what I did the first time. I tightened these front ones down, and then I couldn't get the backs started or done anything. So just get your fronts in, threaded, and then move to the back. So you want to have it lifted up so this little ridge is pushing on the rail, and then you put your other piece in and just kind of slide it down And I think that was the other issue. The bolts they sent were too short, where you couldn't even reach the bracket. It was very frustrating trying to use them. So getting your own stuff that you know is going to work is a lot nicer.
Yeah. What is your frustration worth to you?
Yeah, and it was. For a while, I was extremely pissed off doing it until I realized that the hardware is just not going to work. This is the only issue. So these brackets, the whole bracket itself is actually just a little too narrow. And so what happens is you have to stretch the bottom out, which messes with the sliding mechanism. Just slightly makes it really stiff. So I did grease them up extra grease so they slid a little bit more. And trying to get on this side's a pain in the ass. So we're going to get the front tightened down first. And then we're going to get the back tightened down because it'll be set where it's supposed to be. Oh, I got it nice and snug. We'll move to this one. Okay, so now that that's moved and adjusted, we'll make sure this is set in there, and we're going to tighten down these clamp ones. You can see it's using this, pushing up against that, and those little squares, rectangles are getting wedged into the bracket. Super secure for a super Baja.
Yeah, super slow Baja.
Super slow Baja. So they got the seats, and we're just going to run these harnesses through. Again, this is a driver's seat, so now the adjuster is on the wrong side. But technically, if this was a European one, it'd be on the right.
European one? No, if it was
still
British.
If it was British, it'd still be wrong.
Or Japanese.
If anyone knows where I can find these grommets, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Or even a 3D printed one,
or
right?
if someone has a file.
Yeah.
'Cause I can't find the 3D print.
There's that guy over there.
We have a 3D printer that I use. I just don't have the file for this, so. All right, we're going to feed them through anyways. If you come across the situation where you don't have your grommets in your seats, be careful sliding it through. This metal on the inside here is super sharp, and I've cut my finger open on it. I'm going to wear my gloves while doing it, but it's a tech tip for you that if your Corbu race seats are also missing their grommets, you need to slide through your bracket, wear your gloves because the metal is sharp. I think that's like the most useful tip everyone should know. Oh, there it goes.
There it is.
So yeah, we got them buckled in. I'm just going to show you real quick. Do this and this. And also, I mean, just the cool factor. I'm not going to lie. Like,
Yeah.
you don't. I think every single person thinks it's cool if you get into something and you're strapping in like at a fighter jet.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun, right? So,
I actually think they're pretty comfortable. These pads here,
yeah.
they're like when I was driving and I was like, oh, that's nice. They're hot in the summer, I will say that.
There's definitely,
Yeah.
you're having extra fabric, but no, they're not terrible. I think. So, has a clip. I'm just demonstrating, so anyone that has never seen a race harness before, right? There you go. So, we're strapped in. Nothing's going anywhere. The seats are secured. The harness bar is not going.
I think it's a really nice, affordable solution for
Yeah, I
someone
think it was
that
like
wants
$120.
Yeah.
And you can make it work. The old seatbelts are out. This is in, and you're not going anywhere. Plus, it just feels cool you're driving it. I think more people see me driving it. They think it's faster than it really is.
It makes you look faster.
But when it was stock seats and seatbelt, you did not stay in it at all. Then the seats helped you, but the seatbelt was terrible. So once we got these in, you're in, and you're set to go.